What's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're playing more standard 2022, and we have a nice, easy, popular one today. We're playing some Mono White Aggro, and partly because I saw a bunch of other people doing it, and I wanted to make my version of it, but partly because the games are fast, the cards are awesome, and it's a little bit on the budget side if some people want to build it. Not totally, but kinda. So you know what? We're gonna go take a look at that deck list and get into it. Now, first off, what I want to say about this list is that I appreciate how tight I was able to make it. If you look, it doesn't take a lot of space up on the screen, so I like that. But let's start at the top here. Let me get some things out of the way, because there's going to be white cards on white cards. This is going to be a little weird. All right, so Battlefield Raptor. This is, believe it or not, this is the one card I kind of questioned how much I wanted. Mostly because it's fine. I mean, it does fly, it's evasive, and you can give it some counters, and it could be a pretty reasonable first striking flyer. The thing is, though, it just kind of doesn't do anything other than just be a flyer. But in this case, being a flyer is fine. Maybe it should be 4 of, but I wanted to make room for a couple other things, so we're rocking 3 of these today. Codespell Cleric. This card feels so junky, but so right in this kind of list when you're trying to just play all your cards out, get them out there quickly. That little extra +1 could be a really big deal. So we're playing 4 and going with it. Monk of the Open Hand, again, because we're going to be able to play multiple spells in a turn, this card's going to rock and roll and be just fine in here. I expect most of the time we'll be able to get this up to like a 3/3. If we're really lucky, like a 4/4, but mostly I think 3 is about the cap. But I think it's fine. Also, being 1 mana itself allows it to be the second spell for another Monk of the Open Hand or even a Codespell Cleric. The funny thing, though, here is that the monks actually can fuel themselves, right? If they're the first spell you play on the turn, and then you play something else behind it, boom, there you go. You get to pump it. So if you turn 1 monk, turn 2 monk, and something, you get 2 2/2s and get to attack. So that's pretty good and efficient. Then we're playing the Paladin class. This is just one of those things, just really we're playing it to pump our team. Like the third level's pretty nice to be able to get a big thing that gets to double strike with a big +1/+1. A lot of times being like a +4 or +5, which is great, but not often what we're looking for. That's just kind of like an added bonus on top of everything. Really what we're looking for here is the +1/+1, though occasionally it can stop your opponent from playing removal or countering something because they have to spend that extra 1 mana on your turn. 2 portable holes, just really to deal with some of the early things like Shambling Gas, which could be a little bit of a problem. Even opposing Luminarch Aspirants, things like that could just be annoying. Then we have 4 Usher of the Fallen, just a quality 2/1. Lets us build up other creatures, keep attacking, doing all that good stuff. What I like about Usher of the Fallen is your deck's already going to be a little bit susceptible to sweepers, and this allows you to just, all right, I don't want to put anything else on the board. Let me tap my mana, make another 1/1, put the opponent still within danger range, but force them to do something without me having to dedicate more to the board. That's the biggest feature here on the Usher. Clarion Spirit, you've probably seen this in a million decks. It's still good, no surprises at all there. And truthfully, if we're going to play so many small creatures, we kind of have to play this. Luminarch Aspirants, again, I've said it 100 times, I feel like, in any deck where we're playing white aggro stuff, this is just one of the best cards you're going to be able to play for 2 mana, so you're just going to keep playing it. 3 Elite Spellbinders. Now, I'm going to openly say here, this should probably be 4. The card's really good, one of the best things you can be doing for 3 mana. However, it's not 4 because I'm making room for 2 Guardian of Faith. Now, this is one of those new cards that nobody's really playing, and I wanted to experiment with it. And the biggest feature here is that it does protect you from sweepers. So if you're playing against something like Blood on the Snow, or I guess even a Crippling Fear would be fine, though Crippling Fear is a little tough because they cast it, they put it on the stack, then they choose after it resolves. That's a little tougher. So it doesn't really save you from that, but it does save you from like Doom Scars and things. But the way we're using this here is just remove all the things we want to protect, let this die, Then during your next upkeep, because everything phased out, it comes back in. And then you're back to rocking and rolling. Your opponent has to find some other sweeper. Maybe even could be used as a combat trick to protect a couple of things, to do some stuff the next turn. Like, I don't know. But this is just kind of where we're going to experiment, right? We have a couple spots. We're going to go with it. Now, one of the ways I feel like my version differs from several of the others that I've seen is Maul the Skyclaves. A lot of them aren't playing this card, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, I guess they want to be super low to the ground and have as few things that cost 3 as possible. But I'm willing to go with this. I think this is worth it. I mean, even if you end up on defense and just happen to have a 4/4 blocker or 5/5 blocker, like, that's fine. It gives something flying, so you have another thing to come over the top. It also kind of makes us not feel as bad for having more of those Battlefield Raptors, you know, because we have other ways to produce flyers. So I'm all on board for this card. I think it's going to be pretty good for several of our games. Then Skyclave Apparition, because we just needed some other solid removal other than Portable Hole. And this kind of fills that need. Then we have Cave of the Frost Dragons by 3 and 16 playing. So it's only 19 land, but we do have a ton of stuff that costs 1 and 2 mana. We also only have one color we're worried about, right? So we don't have to try to find multicolor mana or anything else. So I think 19 will be fine. The only card slots really, though, we're kind of gambling on are those Guardian of Faith, because we're not really sure how these are going to work out just yet. But outside of that, that's it. We're going to go plays. Catch up with me on the back end of the games. We'll talk about cards we want to replace and what we would update, and then we'll have a card spotlight for you. We'll keep this. Not bad enough for us to throw away. Shambling Gas. The new best black card in Magic. No, I'm just kidding. But it is one of the most played black cards in Magic, that's for sure. Okay, this is interesting. So let's do this. Then this. Pump this. Attack. You can block and kill a Code Spell Cleric. Or you can block, sack to draw cards and kill a Code Spell. They didn't want to do that. So they didn't block to sack. They didn't block to make treasure. They didn't, like, what is this? Wow. What situation does a black to green deck not want to kill a thing or get treasure? I'm kind of stumped right now, actually. Unless maybe they thought it was better to get to kill a Monk of the Open Hand? Maybe that was it? Oh, they're playing a Skeletal Swarming deck. Well, they can't really do anything with anything here. I mean, they could Soul Shatter. I mean, I guess we just take a Binding? Or a Swarm. I mean, but if they tap out to play a Binding, we don't really care. Yeah, all right. I mean, I guess. Like, I don't know. And if you block to kill something, you're not making treasure to make it easier for you to cast the Swarming. So, I mean, I guess this is all fine. Okay, they did go for the treasure. So they're going to make sure they can at least play a Binding of the Old Gods here. And then they can play the Skeletal Swarming next turn. Or save the mana and try to Blood on the Snow. Okay, well, they won't Blood on the Snow yet. And since we know there's a Blood on the Snow, we actually get to save our Guardian. Why would you not have killed this Elite Spellbinder, opponent? Baffling. Alright, yeah, the worst you're going to do is nothing next turn? Sure. I mean, I know that's going to die, but so be it. I mean, opponent's effectively dead next turn anyway. Unless they get the -3/-3 thing, which I should have thought about. I could have put the other counter on the Monk. Would have been better anyway. There's so many reasons I should have put the counter on the Monk of the Open Hand, actually. It didn't matter. Okay, we go first in this one, and we will keep. Get the Paladin class out there. Probably just run out of Clarion Spirit and hope for the best here in the early going. All right, let's see what happens. Hoping to draw a 1 or 2 mana thing here. Come on, deck. Don't fail me. You did not fail me. However, with this being out there, it's making me wonder if I need to use this apparition on something like a Sentinel first. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to make a really big Clarion Spirit. And attack. So if they decide to fight, they're going to have to do it the hard way. Play a land, play a wolf, tap. And then, okay, well, I guess they have it. That sucks. When they just have it, they have it. Like, we threatened them with it, and they proved to successfully have it. Oh, okay, well. They're going to give this +1/+1, but I think we're okay with that. Oh, they didn't have it. What? Why would you make that otherwise, opponent? That seems so bad. Why would you even do that? Okay. I guess they just assumed we weren't going to block. They apparently don't know me. Dragons like to let their creatures get in and fight, yo. Yeah, I just went and made this a 5/5, so it's just harder for them to fight through it. Toski, I guess we'll block. I was going to say block and trade. Sounds good. Ooh, what can we do with this? During their end step, we could play this. And then that would... Nah, we're just going to do this. No need to get tricky. Sometimes when you're in an advantageous position, you just got to take advantage of what you got. We're going to go with this. And I want to make that a 3/3 and just leave them with just Toski. Opponent's at 9. They're just dead, right? Because they have to split. Yeah, if they double block, they just die. Because they block here, block here. Yeah, yeah. And the Code Spell Cleric has Vigilance anyway, and we just block Toski, so it's fine. Why are you doing that? You should just put it there. I can't... I mean, I guess you just want this to die bad enough. Yeah, I can't imagine they have an answer of any kind here. Yep. I mean, I guess if you're going to Blizzard Ball this one. Do you at least get a blocker back? Alright, we're going to keep this. Though I'm debating what order to play these spells. I think... If I go with this, I get a free counter, and I'm only attacking for 2. But this lets me attack with a 2/2 next turn, which is a little bit better. And then it's possible I could play 2 things next turn and attack with something even bigger. Alright, so I'm going to attack. And if the opponent wants to block, they can block. I'm down. Orn Reef Ooze. Okay, well, I guess we got to remove an ooze. Well, it wasn't going to be part of our plan, but I guess it has to be. Another one? Almost. Ooh, and an aspirin. Alright, that's starting to be a problem. That's going to get annoying. Though we did just find something that helps that problem quite a bit. Question is now, do we go with the Usher or the Apparition? Or do we just level and attack? Or do we play this and... Nah, we do this. Because we're not blocking with this one, so sure. Actually, maybe we are blocking with this one. You get to put 2 counters. You can make something into a 5. And we can block the other. Nah, we're just going to play the aggressive fight here. Because if we draw another creature, we get to play this and something, and then that gets in there for 5. So we do create a real scenario here. We'll block. You can have a card. That ended up being way less damage than I anticipated. And I was going to chump block with that anyway. Oh my goodness, that is big. That is so big. That's what she said. Giggity. I guess we're going to go here? No, we're just going to try to end the game, right? I mean, sure. Because now that's just lethal on board. Plus we have an extra +2, so we got 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Yeah, if they're tapping out for that, that's good. Yeah, okay. We're solid then. Yeah, we'll take 7, 8, 9. You can have all the cards you want. Man, Maul the Skyclave really coming through for us. Yep. Play a chump blocker that we don't really need. Opponent did gain life, though. So that does actually change things. What are the odds they have a fight spell? That's like a real question here. But if we block and that dies, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, if they get us, they get us. We're gonna live and die by it. We can't have both creatures die, though. That's the thing. We need one to live. I don't care which one, but we just need one of them to live. All right, we're gonna take 5. Blocking, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. All right. Opponent gets a card. Hopefully we're still in this. If they have like an inscription or something, we could get totally wrecked here. Okay, they don't. Do we level this up? No? I don't think we do. We just do this. Split it up. All right, I mean, I guess we got to try. Yep, Dragon's going to get us. Yep. We were dead either way. Yep, needed another blocker. Didn't have it. GG's. Well done, opponent. We needed this to have been a creature, so we could have left something else back, but close, close, close. All right, we'll keep this. Kind of a similar start to last time for us. So I think what we're going to do is go ahead. Yeah, we'll follow the same kind of line of thought here. Because if they have a tap land and don't play anything, we get a pretty fair start. If they play something bigger, yeah, that's fine. They're not likely to trade us for that, so that's okay. And this works out pretty nicely. I was going to say, the best thing now would be to find a... the Clarion Spirit would be the card we want here. And that is not a Clarion Spirit, but it's not a bad one to have either. I feel like if the opponent's plan here is just to block, then if we do that... All right, I'm going to hold on to this apparition. I don't know what the opponent's up to. I don't know if I want to just give up this Usher to that. I think we do. I think I'm willing to make that exchange. Knowing that we have these two in hand, I think that's fine. Yeah, I was going to say, I've had a feeling they didn't want to block. I think they blocked with the first one because they had a second Lotus Cobra. Once they're down to just that one, they didn't really want to. Because now they can have access to 5 mana if they have an untapped land. Still have 4 even if it's tapped. Okay, they didn't. So search your library for up to 2 basics. So you get 3, you can play that and still have access to 2. To play... nothing. Alright. So that opens up the door quite large for us. So now do we just level? And get in there, assuming they block 1, we get in for 4, 5, 6, 7. Put the opponent at 8. And then we get our choice of either coming over the top or 3, 4, 5, 6. We get in for 7 anyway this way. And put the opponent at 8. So yeah, doesn't really change much. Yeah, might as well do that. I mean, if they just give it Snakeskin Veil. Alright, cool. We're good then. Ooh. I don't think this is the type of hand our deck can win with going first. This is a lot better. I would say we keep this. And I'm going to hate myself doing this, but we're going to get rid of Usher. My plan is to draw a land and then a 1 mana thing. Or draw a 2/2 here. Okay, well, that plan went all sideways. Should have just kept the 2/1. Tried too hard, got punished for it. Pretty much what happened there. Oh, we need a land really badly. So we can get this Spellbinder off. Oh, we are in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. Think we're dead, team. This one I think we have to eat. We pretty much can't survive without the Spellbinder going off. And that's mostly just to keep them from swinging down or sweeping our board. As it stands, we have a pretty pitiful board that's not doing a whole lot. Especially since now we can't really get rid of that. It would have been nice to play the Spellbinder here, then get rid of this. But I guess this is the best we can do. Ugh, man, that does not feel great. I guess we gotta take the Battle of Frost and Fire, because that's all we can do. Ugh, feels gross, man. Feels gross. Alright, they can play one of these big 5 mana duders here. Fortunately, we can at least still attack for 3 over the top. I was kind of hoping they'd want to play a Calamity Bearer, so we could Apparition it. But they smartly went with the Quakebringer, which is the most value, and still lets them play another thing. So, not sure what we're going to do now, team. Oh, and they have a Frostbite for our flyer. Yep. I think we're just dead now. Yep. Missing that land drop. Our only real way out has now died. So, yep, we did. Alright, let's lead with the Monk of the Open Hand. And then we're going to play Usher. Okay, weird. Actually, I could have went with Clarion Spirit there. Now I have to draw land. Alright, well, we failed. But that's okay, we're getting in more damage anyway. How much can we... I was going to say, how much can we do before they -4/-4 our team? I'm not sure how inclined I am to play more to the board here. 2, 4, 5. Opponent goes to 7. Oh, 2, 4, 6. Opponent's at 6. And we'll have 7 next turn. They kill one of these. We only have 5. They go to 1. Not great, but I think it's the safer of the choices. And if it's not the Monk of the Open Hand that dies, I can actually play 2 things and get a free 1/1 over there too. So it's not that bad, I guess. They did not kill a Monk of the Open Hand. All right, so I think that's going to allow us to do it. All right, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And I played these out of order. That's stupid. Not that it matters. Game's over anyway. All right. Okay, I'm pretty sure we have to keep this. This is pretty strong. I'm gonna go with this. Mostly because if they play something for 2, we could still Portable Hole it and play the Paladin class here. Or play a Code Spell Cleric. Actually, we need... Yeah, that's fine. Let's get that dude out of the way. Let's go ahead and play this. Put the counter here. And we'll get in for 3. Okay, so far so good. Nice and steady. Alright, don't want to get too crafty here. The opponent could have something that deals 2 to all things. So let's just play this. Probably should play the Elite Spellbinder here. But I'm going to play it a little safe. Mostly because that's a big attack if I level this up next turn. If it's a sweeper, then we're not happy. Being able to get rid of Delina is nice, though. There we go. Oop, opponent goes first. We'll keep this. Get this Battlefield Raptor going. This is actually not bad, though. Raptor on 1. Turn 2, we could play Monk, then Code Spell Cleric, put a counter on the Raptor, attack for 2. And then if we draw something else, we could Paladin and something to give another counter to the Monk. Would be nice, actually, if on turn 3... Ooh, that's actually a little bit of a question. I think I'm still going to do this, though. I was just thinking on turn 3, if we were to draw a Clarion Spirit, that would be the best thing here. But don't want to get too greedy. I guess it's a good thing I played a flyer, huh? I think we are going to do this. All right. Not sure how much this helps us. All right. Probably going to take a Paladin class. Though we could just play that next turn. But let's keep us from playing 2 spells this turn. Which is important. So the Garden of Faith is still straight up a 3/2. So I don't know. Maybe they don't want us to have that. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of decisions the opponent has to make here. All right, that makes sense though. That was my first thought that they would take. If we block that, then what? Probably nothing. We just take the 2. We're going to draw something else to go with our... Oh, okay, that's fine. For some reason, I don't anticipate the opponents playing the typical sweepers here. I mean, if they are, we'll just get got. That's okay. I can live with that. We'll go ahead and get in there. If they want to trade for our monk, that's fine. Ranger Clash, sure. I mean, I'd just be trading an Usher and a Code Spell Cleric for a Root Grazer. Not fantastic, but I'm willing to do it. Okay, so they're going to pick that up, replay it, level their Ranger class. Alright, that was actually an okay turn for us. I think we get in there, right? Sure. All right. Now, if we could top deck another Paladin class, that would be great. I don't know if we can get so lucky, though. Root Grazer. All right, it's going to give them 4 mana. Probably play their... Oh, Yasharn. I was thinking it'd be a Felidar retreat or something. Yasharn is a little bit of a problem. Yasharn was a little bit of a problem. All right, that'll do it. Well, y'all, that kind of played out exactly like we expected. As far as being an aggro deck, it did aggro deck things, and it did them very well. And the cool part about this deck is people probably own a lot of the pieces outside of a couple of the new cards from Forgotten Realms, so it's very possible this could just be a good deck for a lot of people to build if you just want to race through the ladder, get some easy wins here or there. Just got to be a little careful and patient in how you sequence all your cards. You can take advantage of all those bonuses, but otherwise, pretty strong. Now, as for what we'd want to replace, not much. Honestly, I was pretty happy with them all, the Skyclaves, and unfortunately, we really didn't get to see a lot of the Guardian of Faith, but I really feel like it's still the type of card this deck could be looking for. Maybe it's not the card, but I think I would still want to experiment with it a little bit more before I decide if I want to cut it. But if I do cut it, nah, you know, those are going to be the 2 spots that go. So if there's something else you want to play, check out those 2 spots and swap them out for something else. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to stay on brand here with the white cards and talk about Stoneforge Mystic. And this card is kind of interesting, right? Because it was banned for a couple years, and then around 2019, I want to say around April 2019, ended up getting unbanned. And then we were like, okay, saw the price spike up on the card, thought that was going to be temporary. There was a reprint coming a year later. We got the reprint set, and then the price kept going up, and it never came back down. Matter of fact, it's crossed over the $50 mark, and even the promos and other versions are beyond that. You're talking over $70. So yeah, this card's still good, still strong, still powerful, still hot, still expensive. Card's just all around good. Yeah, if you haven't seen it in action before, it's worth every dollar. Now don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links for all of our other stuff. As usual, you can come by and check out our streams, or you can come by my Discord, hang out with the Brood. We've got over 500 members in there, and honestly, those are the best ways if you want to get a deck looked at and get some deck help, or if you just want to come by and make some suggestions for what we could put on the channel or on the streams. Best way is you got to participate to get that little bit of extra interaction. And if you haven't, please consider hitting the like, subscribe, and notify buttons there, because that helps out a lot, and my goodness has it helped. So thank y'all again for that. But that wraps us up for today, and that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.